Welcome to the great. Oh, fuck. This is the end of my ride, but now that I have a. This is the end of my ride, but this is the intro to my video because now I have a little more focus on what I'm going to talk about. Welcome to the great polarized training versus group ride experiment. Hey, cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. I didn't know how I was going to handle this ride. This was my first group ride since I declared I was going to go polarized in my training. The difficulty with this situation is not doing any tempo or sweet spot, which is polarized training zone 2, which you're not supposed to touch at all. If this was supposed to be a purely endurance polarized zone 1, and I did a bunch of polarized zone 2, then I would compromise my workout the next day, which is focused on polarized zone 3, upper intensity work. So with all that in mind, I figure I'll just take it as it comes and I'll see what I could do. Things became clear for me once we got on the broken bridge wall. There was no way I could do this in zone 2. This actually wasn't the first challenge. On the way out, we were going at a good clip. And when teammate Dave was in the front and I was right behind him, he was going so hard that I could feel the squats and deadlifts I did after the crit on Thursday, 2 days before. By the way, I have a video of that crit linked in the description below. Back to my dilemma. It is here where I came up with a plan. I was going to do my HIIT work, my upper intensity work, on this ride. I will do a series of efforts ranging from 30 seconds to 4 minutes. Now, I could go down to 15 seconds, but I was concerned that if I did that while I was gassed, everyone else would pass me up and then I'd have to go chase after them, probably like in zone 2. For me to achieve and stay in zone 3, I'd have to maintain at least 270 watts, preferably 300. Now, on the shorter stuff, I wanted to hit 400 plus. It was rare that I did. I have some work to do in that area. By the time I reached my limit near the top, it was about 1 minute 50 seconds. I was fortunate that I had a teammate with us that just got back on the bike. I got the rest while we regrouped. On today's ride, I limited my high intensity efforts to inclines, such as the one I'm starting with here. Now what helps is that I rode to the start to meet the others. So I had 15 miles to the start and then 15 miles to get back. And that was all endurance, especially on the way back. I was pretty cooked, so I was happy to go slow. Not all my efforts were initiated by me. Here I'm on teammate Dave's wheel. He's pushing me into zone 3. That doesn't even include his lead-in into this climb that was pushing me into polarized zones 2 and 3. The total effort on this climb gave me about 1:10 of upper intensity work. As it turns out, I had about 7 of these efforts. When you look at the ride in its entirety, I spent about 70% of my time in polarized zone 1 and 7% in polarized zone 3. That meant I spent 23% of my time in polarized zone 2 where I don't want to be. However, given the workout and given the benefits that I got from it, I believe I can live with that. My legs were cooked after that ride. In fact, they were cooked during that ride. I was going to do one more high intensity effort on the way back in, but I just didn't have it in me. In fact, when you do more data comparisons where you're comparing the data from this ride, which is in the upper part of the screen, to another 4+ hour ride, which is purely endurance and solo that I did the week before, you'll see that while the total work is 10% different, that there's a significant difference in the training load and the relative effort. Based on my experiment, it looks like I found the formula for integrating group rides in with my polarized training scheme. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I'll have the Strava for this ride linked in the description below the video link I have of my Zwift crit. Are any of you doing polarized training, and how are you dealing with group rides? Comment below and let me know. Alright, you know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.